it's Valerie. Welcome to a drawing class at 1 o'clock with Valerie Wallace Fine Arts. Today we're going to do this red truck if you want, or you can do something else. You can do whatever you want, but now you get your stuff out to color, it'll be all fun and games. Today is Friday, April, I bet Tim, you know what day it is, right? What's the date?
It's the 17th.
17th. Okay. I think I've been doing this a month. Is that possible? Yeah. It's been a while. Okay. All right, I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go? What we're going to do is plan out this little red truck, and we're going to put in some background, and you can be as creative as you like to with this. I'm going to start, again, what I usually do is use some sort of light color, and I'm going to use my gold, because what it's going to do is where it's lighter red, it's going to go well with that, and then I'm also going to take a darker color to get a few of these areas where things are a little bit darker before I color it red. Okay, because if it's all red, it's going to be hard to see the shape of the wheel wells and all that kind of stuff. So this is a little truck, but the proportions will vary. In reality, trucks are not all exactly the same. So if yours comes off a little bit differently, it doesn't make that much difference. I'll show you the one part where it matters. Okay, we're going to start with a line that runs from here to here. Without the cab on here, you basically just have a skinny rectangle, right? That's all it is. So we'll start with that, and I think what I'm going to do is basically from top to bottom, I'm going to find about the middle, and I'm just going to say that this line is about in the middle of the page. It won't hurt to have a little more foreground, okay? So it's a little closer to the back. So what I want is this line. Can you see this?
Yeah.
I would like to have a tiny bit more space in the front of my truck than in the back of my truck. Because visually what that says to you is that the truck is moving forward and there's room for it to go. If you butt it right up against the side of the paper here like this, it has a feeling that it can't go anywhere. It's just sort of a subliminal thing. So give yourself, maybe not that much, but give yourself a little bit more room on the right side. Okay, we'll start with a line like that. The next thing I'm going to have you do... Huh?
Top of the bed?
This is this line right here.
Yep. Listening.
And I'm saying, I'm sure you're not the only one. From top to bottom, I'm saying this is about in the middle. Okay? Because it doesn't matter if you go a little higher or lower in this. It won't make any difference. Sometimes it does make a little difference, but not in this case. All right, I'm going to take whatever this line is that I have here, and I'm going to find where I think about the middle of the line is. The truck bed is slightly longer here than it is here, just slightly. Oh, wait a minute. Is that wrong? The opposite?
I think they're just the same.
It's actually a little bit bigger in the hood. All right, so in that case, all right, so I'll find the middle. About here, maybe I'll cheat it back just a tiny bit to the back. I'm going to draw a line that goes straight up and down like this. We're going to want the cab. I've seen this happen before. I don't know a lot about trucks, but the cab is more, this window is more on the square side than the rectangle side. So don't make this line too long just yet. You can always add on to it a little bit. Like when we color in the red, you can color it on the outside rather on the inside. If you make it a little bit too big, you can color it on the inside. But I don't think you want a super tall cab. I just don't think that's the way that a truck is set up. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen the people draw it in, and then you go, something's funny about the cab, and it's like usually because it's too tall. So keep that in mind. Okay. I'm going to go across the front here like this, and I'm going to make that line maybe a hair longer than this one. And what I want is a line that's this part, the red part that holds the cap up, and then a little line for the windshield, and these tilt. So I'm going to make a slanted line that goes like this, and then one right next to it. Okay, so hopefully this is kind of a square shape. If it's super rectangular, probably just bring this yellow line up a little bit and you can work it into things. I'm going to do that with my charcoal down here. So I'm going to start about in the middle, a little closer to the back. I mean, it's a little closer to the left side of the paper. I'm going to find about the middle, and I'm going to draw a line about that tall, go over a little bit, and I'm going to slant one down and then another one down. I'm going to need a little more on the front of my car, probably. I'm going to have a big truck bed. What do you call that?
I didn't know.
Isn't there some word for like the size of your truck bed?
Short bed and long bed.
That's it. That's it. See, I know. Good thing Tim's here
It's an
today.
8-footer.
Okay. So far, so good. We're gonna go from the cab is going to be smaller than, I don't know what you call this, the height of the body here. Okay. You're going to take this line and you're going to draw that straight down like this. Okay, now this line, if you measure it, should be taller than whatever your cab is. So just that'll help to make the cab the right size too, as long as the body is a little bit taller. Okay? We know that this is here because this is where the door opens up. So that's why we know that line is connected from here to here. The other part where the door hinges is right here where this line is. Okay, so you're going to bring, in this case, you can drop this straight down. Okay, sometimes they fit around the wheel well, but we're just going to go like that. You can draw a little line across the bottom. The lighter you go, the easier it is going to be for you to adjust it if you need to. Good?
Good.
What do you think, Tim? Good so far?
Good.
He's jumping ahead.
He's going ahead?
Yeah.
I'm not going fast enough? Okay, I'll speed up then. So there. Alright. This is where I'm going to go to next is the front. Okay? Now, it has, what do you call these things that when they bump out like that?
Flare side.
Flare
fenders,
side wheel
fenders.
wells or whatever?
Yeah.
So these stick
Yeah,
out, which I
back.
think is a neat part of this style of truck. I don't know whether it is, they still do that, right? From the top of the hood to where this is just kind of a little short, there's a little short space here. So you can take this and just draw a line that goes out like that. Maybe we don't even want to draw the front until we're sure we have enough room to fit the wheel well in and stuff. So draw it like this, okay? Then, let me think how I want to do this. I practiced. I guess I will just, if I take the width of the door, the width of the hood is just a hair bigger. So if I take the width of the door and I bring it over here, I just want to make sure that I've made these two lines a little bit longer. I'm going to round this around, and I guess I'll just bring this down. Okay? So far, so good?
So good.
Alright. Leave this for a second, because we want the two wheel wells to match up. We don't want, you know, the tires should be, we're aiming for them to be roughly the same size. Obviously, these are going to be relatively the same. They're also going to line up. So let's go here first. Right along the top, there's a little piece, little skinny piece like that. I don't know what that's called. Okay? And then I want you to see there's a space from where the door is to where the front of this wheel well is. There's a little space. And see if you can get that roughly that size. Okay, so it's like right about here, and that goes up. And this is going to go, this line is going to go up and match up with the one we have drawn here in the front. Okay? And that's going to go across. Okay, so these two are the tops of these wheel wells, and they should line up with each other. Alright? And let me see. And this, again, this is this size. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. Alright, so I'm going to bring this. I want it pretty big, so make sure it's pretty big. I'm going to bring that down. There's a little tiny bit, and then there's the back of the tailgate there, okay? Kind of like that. Okay? Oh, I'll do it down here. So, what did I do? I went, curved this around, brought it down, made a piece here, like that. And then I will match that up have a space, match that up with there, with a little line here. Down. Okay? I mean, when you're done, no matter whether you make the one wheel look like it's in a, you know, goes for a tractor and one goes to a toy car, I mean, it's gonna look like a truck. It's gonna look like a red truck out in the yard somewhere, out in the land somewhere. Okay, so that's all you really care about. Okay, so now we need to make the little shape that's on the inside here. And these, again, we want to match them up. Okay, so I'm going to make a line right about here. And I'm going to do the same thing about here. This one is a little closer to the left. So it's a little skinnier right in here. This one has maybe a little more on the back. I want to do that part and do that part so that they're coming out about the same. I don't know whether, actually this space here is bigger than the one in the front. So if they don't come out exactly the same, don't worry about it because they're not the same. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now we got that like that. Got a truck? Because really, that's it. I'll tell you, we painted this. It was hard. I remember maybe Jen and Sue are listening because they were there. It was painful. But they were fun. But I think there was some involved. And it wasn't as bad as it seemed at the end. Okay. One of the things that's happening is that this is on a little narrow road, and so this part is the field. It could be overlapping the car a little bit depending on your perspective on it. So what I'll have you do is, let's do the circle for the hubcap in here right about where you want it. And then what you are trying to remember is that that's in the middle of the tire, not necessarily the middle of that shape. Okay, and if I am doing this, the reason why I chose this gold color is because it goes with all of the colors in the background, and that way when I come along here, maybe this might even be a good time to do it, but if I bring my tall grass in a line that goes right across like this, and kind of overlaps those tires a little bit, that's going to be an overlapping that helps to show space, and it's going to be easy for me to blend this color in to the grass and then make it look like it's supposed to be like that. Okay? The same thing down here. I'm going to do the circle and then I'm going to do the tire. Now, what I want to do next is I want to sketch in this person that's sitting in here. And so don't panic. It's really not going to be hard. If you make it a little bit on the big side, it's probably going to make more sense than making it like a little tiny, a really, really tiny person in there. Okay, so don't, if you do it, I guess if you make it small, it's easy to make it bigger, so it's not a big deal. What we want to do is notice that his head is filling up this space quite a bit, this is obviously a little truck, and that's probably how you can tell is because how big he is. He's a little bit closer to the back of the cab. So if you draw him up in the window, I mean, he's probably driving, looking out like he's going to, hit something or whatever. So you want to get it back in the corner. And I'm just going to keep it with the same color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a circle, okay, right about that big. So a little space in the front, but just a circle like that. If you make an oval or a square, that's great too. I'll do a square down here. That'll show you that'll work just as good, which might be easier for you to do, okay? What happens is on the back of your neck, there's really not a lot of shape. So you're going to go from your head, it's going to come in a little bit, but then go back out. So it's really not much to deal with here. Obviously, his back is right up against the back seat. So it's going to be right in there like that. You just make a line. You can make a line that goes straight down, or you can make one that tilts a little bit. Like here, I'll just make it basically go straight down. Okay? Now this guy, in this one, has like a little hat on. So if you want to do it like that, this is what you do. Actually the guy riding on this truck could be like Wendell. with his little hat sitting right up on the very top and a little askew, right? Uncle Wendell. But if you wanted a hat like sitting on the head, what you do is you go into the circle and you just kind of make a line that comes across like that. That's right on the circle. Had that little bill stick out. The front of his chest, you know, if he's kind of, you know, you're not going to have much neck necessarily, so you bring a line that's out here. Okay? So far, that's not so hard, is it? Right? Kind of like that. Down here on my square, I'm going to cut it off kind of like that, maybe add a little hat on the top. Alright, and we don't, you can kind of see his nose, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. Let's just kind of leave him for now, and this is what I want to do is, I want a light color to be behind his head to set up that silhouette for later. So I'm going to take this gold I have, and I'm going to go pretty close to the top of the cab, and I'm going to draw a line that goes across, and I'm going to go to where, about midway down the truck, like this. And I'm going to color this swath in with this goldish color, which is going to represent my light yellow here. Alright? And I'm going to make sure that I put it inside the window, because if I don't, I can put it right over this guy. You know, you have to remember that anything like, you know, a window or glass, like that's holding water or something like that, you know, they're see-through. So whatever is around it in the back, you have to put that in your glass. People think it's white or something, but it's not. It's like whatever's behind it. Sometimes there's a little, if there's liquid in there, it might be, what's the word? Not disoriented, but...
Distorted?
Distorted. Thanks, Daphne.
You're welcome.
It might look a little distorted if it's being seen through liquid or too thick layers of glass or whatever, but it still has those colors showing, okay? Let's see, down here, I did that. So here on this one, the one that I'm doing in the dark, I'm not going to color it in. I'll leave that just maybe like this. That'll look like he's got a little bit of not frosted windows, what do you call them?
Tinted?
Thank you, Daphne.
I'm on it today.
You were on it.
Yep.
That's because you've had a healthy breakfast and a healthy lunch.
I did.
Okay, how does this look? Am I forgetting anything? Oh, yes, I am. Okay, now I'm going to get a darker color because I want to do a little bit of shading to help to, you know, have this look super cool. I'm going to use a very dark brown. I'm going to use the cool brown that in this box is called sepia. And the first thing I want to do so that I don't forget is that I want to put a little spot, very skinny little rectangle here where the handle is going to go. So you can get in. And it also has a little like label here. So if you want to save a little spot, because you can't paint that on there later. And the other places you might want a little like something here for a headlight. And maybe a tailpipe. Okay. Alright. Alright, excuse me. I am going to work in this area right here, and I'm just going to put, not heavy, but a little light coat of this brown in here. And this is going to give me, when I mix it with the red, it's going to be kind of a maroon. If you have maroon, you can just do that. Or you could also use purple, or dark blue. You could use black. Alright, if you feel so like that's your thing. But the thing is your red won't be as delicious if you use black as your shadow. Okay? And we do want delicious red, right?
Yep.
There's probably, well, I guess there really isn't, but you want to go right along the bottom here like this. Maybe a little bit. Sometimes the doors have a little curve to them, but it just even the idea that it's getting down low near the ground, that it probably wouldn't get quite as much light. This one in the front is a little different. Doesn't have this overhanging piece, so it's not quite as shady, but maybe I'll go around my little emblem so it won't look outlined in brown. Kind of like that. Does anybody have any questions on there, Daphne?
No.
Everybody's good? Okay.
Everybody's good.
Alright. Is Matthias watching?
He is.
Hey, Matthias. With his friends?
Um,
Or they have important things to do?
I think Ryan's doing it.
Okay. Okay, let's, while I'm at it with this dark color, this is what I'm going to use on the silhouette. Okay? If you wanted to have a little profile, this is the thing I want you to think about, is that from number one, what happens on the front of the face is that it gets sort of squared off. And the other thing is this, that if you touch where your nose is and where your chin is, you'll realize that they're pretty close together. Okay? So from the top of the head to the chin, the nose isn't in the middle. That's where your eyes are. So if you took the profile and you put a nose right in the middle, you'd wind up with a huge amount of lower face here that you don't want. So if you do want a little part that bumps out for the nose, it's going to be kind of low on the face. Okay? You don't need to do much before it's a nose. Okay? And, you know, if it's super sunny out, then a person inside their car is going to be pretty dark. So you can just silhouette that thing right up there, just make it all dark, okay? And you could use black if you want to, dark blue, dark purple, dark brown, anything you want. Yellow will not really be a silhouette. Okay? Here's my guy. Or my girl. Maybe it should be a girl. You've got a little... If you roll from the chin right into the chest, it'll be a little... What do you call that?
Neck. Double chin.
Yeah, double chin. So here it went...
Maybe that's got a double chin, won't be there.
Yeah, but this is the thing of that you might not know at this point exactly how to control what you want it to be like, but it will still work and look like a body, right?
Yep.
Okay? Different kinds of hats, depending on what you have. We're going to have this red on there. You might want to have the steering wheel, maybe a little blob like that. Okay, try to do it in front of where you're going to put that red line, because otherwise you're going to have to, if you're doing it in color, if you're doing it in black and white, it doesn't really matter. But if you, it's not, you know, just a little something like that. Looks like a hand, right? Isn't that cool? So easy. If you're doing it in color, the red won't cover the brown quite that great. All right, I am going to... Yeah, I want to do a little bit with what happens in the background before we do all the fun stuff and save some of the fun stuff for the end. I'm going to pick... actually, maybe I'll stick with this brown. And when I take this brown here, I'm going to go up and down along this grass, so that when I do color it in, it's gonna, if I leave a little teensy weensy space between the bottom of the truck and the shadow that's under the truck, kind of change, it depends on the perspective, but, okay. Part of the reason why I'm gonna hold off, make you do a little bit of background is, it's all fun to just like sketch out something on another piece of paper and then like throw it away or recycle it or whatever. But a little bit of thought towards the background, and the next thing you know, you have an actual like finished piece. You know, and I'm sure that not every single thing you're drawing with me is something that you're that crazy about and that you want to keep. And hey, so 40 minutes you did something and you don't love it. We do, you know, it's 40 minutes you weren't watching TV or eating or whatever. Or maybe you're eating and watching TV while you're drawing. I don't know. But you can always just get rid of it and recycle it or whatever. It's not a big, huge waste of your life by any means. But once in a while, you're going to make something that, you know, you can put it in a little frame or pin it up on your refrigerator, and you're going to be really happy to have it. And you know what? You will always remember this time, and it will be something that you remember, hopefully fondly, parts of it. Maybe you learn something new that you'd always been meaning to. So put a little effort into finishing the whole piece, it'll be worth it. The other thing I want is I'm going to take a different shade of brown, and what I have is the height of the grass that's here. So I want some brown like this. These things don't matter that much, but this is what's going on. So this is like, you know, with tall field grass right along the edge of the road like that. And you could be using greens and stuff like that too if you wanted to. So if I start to make these long lines, and this is also a way of sort of showing texture. The feeling that, you know, the grass that's in the distance is just going to blend away, where the stuff up close is going to, does anybody have one of those reddish browns? What's this? Okay, so I'm going to use this for my, oops. How's it going, Tim?
Good.
Okay. And one of the things I was thinking about having you do that is that as we do these stripes of color, is that if you make them a little bit, like the next one I do is a little bit narrower than this gold one, and then the last one is a little bit skinnier than that, it will help. It would imagine that they were all about the same width, but that because they went off into the distance, they got skinnier. So I am going to do something like that. Yeah, we did this before. It was like in August, so we were starting to have those August colors. But right now it's still kind of greenish brownish out.
Yep.
Mud colors.
Very
Color
brown.
out here.
Gray.
I know not everywhere. I mean, I keep seeing pictures, my friends' pictures out in San Francisco. He's a gardener for the city, I believe. And he's got all kinds of stuff in bloom out there.
Lucky.
Yeah. We're a little slow to green up here. Okay. Alright, and I'm gonna put maybe a greenish one here. There we go. Maybe a little golden light. And then something smaller. You save. Sometimes you want to sit down and you want to do all of the stuff you're like excited about doing first and foremost, and that's when you wind up you run out of energy, and then you don't get the whole thing finished because you're like, oh, I just did all the best parts. It's like I always used to write stories like that. I'd start out, and I'd do the first page, and I'd have it all in my head like how great the story was going to be, and then it would be so much work just to do that first page that that's all I ever did, and I
Became a writer.
never became a writer. And I also realized that I could tell a story a lot easier by drawing a picture. So I was like, I think I'll just go that route instead.
What age was this?
Oh, like third grade. What?
I
What's
just
funny about that?
thinking about third grade Val.
third grade Val. I was with my friend Jenny Jacobs, and we finally decided that she'd be the writer, and I'd be the illustrator. And I remember a story. I remember starting a story that was supposed to be scary, which was dumb because I don't even like scary stuff. And then the other one that I was writing was about the Pueblo Indians, like the caves. Is that what I mean? Is that the right tribe?
I have no idea.
No? You don't know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they built these huge cities tucked into these caves, like out in Colorado, I think.
Yeah.
And you know, I never knew that I would ever go out west at that point, and I was just so fascinated by the idea of it. And it was kind of a ghost story thing, but I only got a little ways, and then I probably still have it in a box upstairs. All right. Oh yeah, my favorite color. Can you tell? Make some big clouds, so I don't have to color it in very much. But a little blue to contrast all these browns and yellows and stuff like that. If I leave a little bit lighter down at the bottom, that's a lot of times what happens with the sky. It gets, you go out and look and it's a blue sky day, you look straight up, it's blue, blue, blue. But if you look out ahead of you, you'll find that it gets lighter at the horizon line. There we go. All right. How we coming? We ready to pull this guy together?
I think so.
Okay. Let's do it then, babes.
Babes.
Tomorrow we're doing lion. In honor of.
The Tiger King.
Well, not in honor of, but in
response to.
response to. See, you're great today. You're like vocabulary queen today. Okay, I'm gonna get myself a juicy red here. Actually, let's do the black on the tires first. Okay. Maybe whatever color you want for your hubcap, do that. And then, you know, the thing you're remembering is that the wheels are inside of these hubcaps so that they're not they're not going to look like a circle. I mean, if you drew them like that, no big deal. But if you're trying to, and the other thing is if you're having your grass overlap these tires, is that you want to just go up and down a little bit right along the grass, and when you step back, it's really going to look like there's grass in front of there. I kid you not. I won't say it like Bob Marley says that. Here. Because this is a kid-friendly show. There we go. Are you gonna make a red truck, Tim?
Yeah.
Did I already do a truck? Oh, the tractor. Yeah, I got this great, my sister-in-law's dad sent me a picture of his tractor, which if I had had that picture ahead of time, we would have done it, because it's an awful cute, it's a cunning tractor for sure. It's like two-toned red and blue, I think, and I don't know when it was made, but I don't think it was made last year, that's for sure. All right, I got my red. Let's look at the cab. So the thing is, we want our guy to be in, or girl to be in the cab. So when you're doing these lines, if they overlap or get right close to where your head is, that's good, okay? In this case, I'm gonna cheat the roof of this cab down a little bit, right? Because it's thicker. It's not just one line. You know, this is made of metal. You know, it's not just a sliver up there. So I'm gonna have that. There's a lot of roundness to this thing too, so you might want to do that. I'm gonna do this piece right here, thicken that up a little bit. You know, go right over the edge of it, the bottom part of his shoulders, because if you have a little space there, you're losing that chance to have the illusion that he's tucked inside this cab. Because that's what we're doing. We're creating an illusion. Okay? Maybe I'll still be doing this at Christmas, and we'll do the one with the Christmas tree in the back for all the ladies.
Hopefully we're not doing this at Christmas. Well, maybe.
I'll do it this year. I'll do it. Last year it was the hot button paint and sip subject.
Oh right.
Was the red truck with the Christmas tree in the back, and I didn't do it. But I will.
I do remember that.
Because I thought doing the truck was kind of tricky, but it depends a little bit on how you're doing. It depends a little bit on your expectation, right?
Doesn't everything?
Yes. The lower your expectations, the happier you're gonna be.
That's how I like to
Just
live my
stay
life.
easy to please. Yeah, there's no real reason not to live like that. I mean, like, whoa! I surprised myself. It turned out fantastic. There's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
All right, the hood is also just a hair higher than the truck bed, so if you can kind of cheat that up a little bit. I don't know why I say that.
Cheat it?
Yeah.
Got something on your mind, Val?
What?
Cheating?
Cheating? Oh. Have you got cheating on your mind? That's a little Gary Puckett in the Union Gap or something, isn't it?
Dad? That's not me. She wasn't asking me.
It's not yet.
I listen to a lot of oldies. Even oldies, oldier than me. Rockabilly's my favorite, though. With
Yep.
Johnny Burnett. All right. Good?
That looks great. I forgot about your black and white one, though.
What black and white one? Oh. This is easy, though, because it's little.
A little truck.
Ooh.
Pretty.
Alrighty, like that. The only other thing I was thinking about was maybe a little bit of something dark on the front of that windshield. If you're drawing it, make sure that you kind of reinforce those lines right around the cab, keep them tucked in there. Maybe put a high seat back on there. Like here, maybe I'm gonna put a little. I don't want that little space there. I'm gonna just bring that right in there like that. Yeah, and oh, you know what? Maybe I'll use a pencil. I'll use a pencil and do this line right here.
That looks good.
Okay. The other place there's a little thing is that little triangle window. Have you ever been in a car that has a window like that, Dad?
Does the truck?
No, I don't think it does. Does it, Tim?
No.
Yeah, this is kind of nice little. It has a little chrome trim there. I mean, obviously I can't put that on there with white now. I don't think. Something like that. Oh, this is good. I like this. A little pencil on there. It goes slip slides right through all that oily pastel. It's very satisfying.
Interesting.
Huh?
Nothing.
what's it called when you use more than one kind of
Mixed media.
mixed media? Yep, that's what we call it.
That's what they call me.
Yeah, that's very helpful. This pencil. Alright. Oh, I didn't even say anything about... Alright, so I'm Valerie Wallace. You can see me every day at 1 o'clock on my Valerie Wallace Fine Arts Facebook page. If you want to send me a little donation, ValerieWallaceFineArts.com ticket page. You can do it. It'd be awesome. Thank you very much. And the playlist is also on YouTube. Valerie Wallace, free. I never say it right. Free
Drawing classes
with Valerie Wallace Fine Arts. I posted it on my Facebook page, so if you look there, you can always find it. I would love it if you would show me your pictures. You can send them privately, or you can post them right below the video. I love that. And also, just if you like the page, or you like the video, I don't know, whatever. Just so I know you're up there. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to do the lion. There we go. Oh, Jennifer is watching. Is Blaze there too? Are you guys making yourself a nice truck today? There we go. Oh, Stephanie Jacobs, Angie, Kim, Sandra. Sandra, congratulations on all your grandchildren. It's so crazy, Leanna. And Tool. Robin.
Just gonna have to,
My God. Arlene, Holly. Julie. Carol Lang. Oh my God, everybody. Matthias, Sue. My mother. Helen from England. And Astrid. And last but not least, my mother, Melba, and my daughter, Ruby. See you tomorrow. Thanks.